It says live.
It says live, but boy, that really took long, didn't it?
Yeah, poor Janine puts up with me too, girls and guys out there, because I'm like, I'm getting my jiggles out, and I'm still getting them out. Yeah, get the wiggles out. Hey,
It's okay.
everybody. She's going to do her behind the scenes button pushing, button smashing, we call it. One of her many, many talented
I
talents.
appreciate
Jillian
that, Mary
Volano
Grace.
George, Senior
I appreciate
Division
that.
from Allentown, Pennsylvania. I'm Mary Grace Lewandowski. I am an Executive Company Vice President from St. Louis, Missouri, and I am wasting time.
Well, you're not wasting time. You're adding value to what
I'm
we talk about.
adding.
I
I'm
have so
riffing.
many places I need to move this to that, this is just how we do it. So my question for you is, it's been a while because we were in the mega party the other week, so we really haven't seen each other or talked to each other. So I'm going to ask, how cold is it where you are? Because it's
Wow, is that
freezing here in
right?
PA.
Okay, here in St. Louis, a lot of people don't know this about Missouri. I'm originally from New York, like upstate New York, near, same type of weather, like
Yeah,
Buffalo.
yeah.
Yeah, so was used to, but I thought like when I moved to the Midwest, or when I married my husband, he was from the Midwest. I guess I didn't know, but Missouri is just an area of extremes, especially St. Louis. So it's either really, really hot or really, really cold, and we have kind of not much in between. And it's really because of the humidity.
Interesting.
When people say, but it's a dry hot, like there's a dry heat, there's something to it. We have a wet, wet everything. So to answer your question, it's 9 degrees. Today is Monday. Last Tuesday, I ate at a restaurant outside.
Oh,
So
that's crazy.
that's
You're
like,
serious? Oh
I
my God,
am
that's
serious
hysterical.
without my coat on. So that's like what happens around here. It's just crazy. And it's like, no wonder people are sick all the time.
Yeah, so one
Also,
day
until
it's
I moved here, I never had experienced an allergy. I know that sounds crazy, but I,
okay.
I didn't, I didn't have any allergies. I didn't even know what they were. So when I first moved here, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like I have a cold, but it's not the time of year. And they're like, that's allergies. So apparently we're one of the biggest cities in the world for allergies too, because it's a river city. And we
Okay.
have we have two main rivers, Missouri and the Mississippi, which is
My
pretty neat
goodness.
because I see the Mississippi, on a weekly basis. But it is the river cities. Apparently we have more fungi. So you guys all got way more information than you needed, and
Wow.
I think we're probably ready to go.
We are. And but it did. I mean, this is why I love Monday nights, because I learn the darndest things, Mary Grace, from you
You know
about.
what's funny too is, again, I'm from the East Coast, so we have a tendency to be a little bit more forward. I have heard.
We do?
So I also learned, since living in Missouri, like how rude all of my friends and family members. Like the questions, like, so how much did that cost? Like stuff like that. Like they would not do that here. But I will ask what I think are very interesting, not the least bit invasive questions, like at a party. You know how we do parties, and I'll see the whole room go.
I love
Like
this for
everyone's been
you.
wondering this question that the jewelry lady
But
asked.
I mean,
Um,
here's a gal who was essentially born and raised in New York, and we know how it is in New York and in PA and in the eastern part of the country. And you somehow found yourself in the Midwest, and you've acclimated very well. We all learn from you. We love how you speak. Oh my goodness, you would not believe, Mary Grace, the amount of people that are hopping on here. This is fantastic.
Yay!
Welcome to everyone. There's a lot of new names that I don't recognize, which I'm totally loving.
And some of you
Um,
could pass the Missouri citizenship test now.
yes, if you want to be a Missouri citizen, good evening, everyone. We're so happy that you all joined us. Please drop in the comments and let us know who your stylist is. So if you wouldn't mind using that little ampersand, that little @ sign, and typing his or her name, it would be great, because then she'll get the notification that you are here, and we sure are happy you are here. So Monday evenings are kind of like my favorite night of the week. Most people love Fridays, but Janine loves Mondays. And why? Because every Monday night I have, yes, Mary Grace, it's all because of you. Every Monday night, I have the distinct pleasure of interviewing my executive company vice president, Mary Grace Lewandowski. Now, I just like to pause a moment. How many of you work for a corporation and even have a dialogue with one of your executives that run an entire arm of the business? Think about that for a moment. I often think about those things because I came from corporate America. I was a corporate America girly.
Yeah, me too.
And the fact that we have, that it's this easy to talk to people that have done very, very well in this organization and in this genre we call direct sales. It's kind of cool that we get to pick her brain every Monday night. So Mary Grace, I'm going to ask you 4 questions, of which you're very familiar with tonight. And I'm going to ask you to answer them to these gals and guys who really might just be like very much new ears. They may not have heard this before, but they were invited here because they're either part of a private group that's just pampering them with cool things right now, or somebody sent them a message today or yesterday or the day before and asked them to come on to listen to this because they thought that highly of that person.
Yeah,
to
truly.
give them, it really is an honor to give them the ability to just.
We don't want to work with everybody.
We don't want to work with everybody. That is so true. So true. So I'm going to get started because I feel like we just have a ton of new people here that are dropping in the comments. Let us know you're here. Please say hello. Mary Grace, tell me, explain to these people what direct sales is, because we use that term all the time. Can you do that for me? And then can you tell us like the whys behind it, and really how is it comparatively to another term we hear all the time, which is MLM?
Multi-level marketing. Yeah. So I'm going to give you like 2 answers, basically. The umbrella under which direct sales falls, like as a title, and then also just a little bit of my personal experience with direct sales. So direct sales, if you've ever had, even if you haven't had the desire to run your own business, to make your own hours, to have the flexibility that you need in your life, and to be able to work when you want, how you want, how much you want to make, all that good stuff. Like really, if we wrote down all of the positives about this job, no one would believe that it's a real job almost, like, oh, and if I want to take a month off, I'm going to take a month, that kind of thing. But direct sales was a life changer for me and my family and me. It's like running your own business with none of the overhead, none of the fear, none of the negatives, only all of the positives that can come from running your own business, like tax write-offs and disposable income and having a side gig, all that good stuff. Now, in the world, in the business world, direct sales means direct to consumer. Basically, we're party plan. Can we just sell jewelry to anyone we want in the world? Absolutely. But we do have an aspect of our business, in every direct sales company does, where a hostess who shares her friends and family with us, or a host, is also eligible for bunches and bunches and bunches of free stuff. Okay. It's almost like they get paid. Like, you pay a store overhead, like Macy's, like Clinique pays Macy's to show their product in Macy's, right? We pay our hostesses and we pay them in free product. Okay. Lots and lots and lots of free product. That's direct sales. What we're confused with sometimes is multi-level marketing. And multi-level marketing, quite frankly, is going to be done more from behind somebody's computer. Okay. They're not necessarily, they are definitely dealing with a customer, but it's a specific product, more like something that's repetitive and would hit your credit card like once a month, like that kind of product. And their main goal in their business, what they're mostly taught to do if they want to really make the big bucks, is the recruiting aspect. So that's why they call it multi-level, because they literally they want to transition as many customers into reps as they can to get
Right.
them the discount and stuff. But then they have to watch from behind the scenes the way the levels are all like working out, because they're going to get paid differently based on the multi-levels. Okay, so direct sales is more direct. We are a liaison between the company and the customer, and we have a concrete product to sell, which in our particular case here is jewelry. I love direct sales, and so do a lot of financial gurus and stuff mention the beauty of direct sales, in that I don't know your schedule, but you do. And this is something that you work around whatever it is your life is.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're looking for extra income and you don't want to change, you don't want to change the basics. You don't want to go back to a full-time job. You don't want to take your child out of something that means a lot to them right now. You get what I'm saying here. Or let's say if huge expenses coming up, you're like, oh, we're going to figure out college now, or even a small expense, like, oh, we got to pay that $300 soccer camp. Direct sales is the answer, you guys. It truly is, because
Yeah.
you can do it around your schedule, which and we don't, but no one else is going to be telling you when to work or that you have to work. So the freedom, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I agree. And your analogies were great this time when you explained about Clinique
Thank you. I've
being
been
in.
working on them.
You're really good. I mean, it is true. That is exactly the way it works. Is we're paying our host in free jewelry so that they introduce us to some new people, and those people fall in love with Park Lane the same way we and our hosts do. I mean, that was a great analogy.
Thank
Okay.
you.
To give credit where credit is due. So let me ask you this next question, and it's going to have to do with what we actually direct sell, which is jewelry. So how does jewelry fit into the equation?
Well, it's fun and it's interesting to bring it back actually to our founders. So Arthur and Shirley Levine started our company in 1955. We will come back to that, a 70-year-old company, cash rich, debt free, all that good stuff. But anyway, when they started this company in 1955, the direct sales model was relatively new. It was really kind of when Mary Kay was starting around the same time. Home interiors. Here's another little tidbit of info for you. Janine's probably like, we only have 30 minutes. Can you stop it?
Yeah.
But Mary Kay, and I can't remember her name, Marion something, I think, they were sisters-in-law. And one started Mary Kay, and the other one started Home Interiors. Is that cool?
Oh, I never knew that.
Yes.
Mary Kay Ash and her sister. I don't know what the sister's name was.
Sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law. All right, I'll find that one out. Go ahead.
So they were both direct sales, and they were, two of the big direct sales companies back in that time. But at any rate, and Sierra Coventry was huge at that time. They're gone. But anyway, Park Lane was hearing about this direct sales model. And they're like, ooh, we really like the idea of using other people's living rooms for the showroom. It's like so much more comfortable for everybody. They loved the idea of being able to share with family and friends, the soft sell like that, building relationships. They loved the idea of being able to help women be who they needed to be and where they needed to be, but also be able to bring in some nice income. So they were all about that. They weren't so sure about what product. And they did such a smart thing, you guys. They hired consultants, and they didn't just hire a consultant. They went to 3 separate companies. They did not tell each other that they had hired one another. They just wanted a non-bias, and they said, go out in the world and do your homework. Come back with your top 3 product choices and be ready to defend your answers. And all 3 of them came back with jewelry as number 1. All of the other answers varied, but number 1 across the board on jewelry. And quite honestly, the Levines weren't even expecting that. So it blew their mind kind of. And then they go, okay, tell us why. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Jewelry is the place to be when you're into sales, when you're selling. I mean, obviously there's lots of different things to sell, and honestly, selling is a very admirable position, and people have to sell things, right? We have to get them into people's hands. But jewelry has a market that's huge. So it's everybody, if you think about it. All right, now I know some of you are thinking, oh no, my Aunt Sally doesn't wear jewelry or whatever, but no, really, it's no specific age group, no specific demographic, nothing. It's everybody. Okay, broad. That's what you want. That's big. Okay. Also, when you're looking at what you're going to represent, you're like, is it a fad or does it withstand the test of time? Jewelry withstands the test of time. It's been around 150,000 years. Did we
That's
look up?
correct.
You looked up, yeah.
Yep.
$43 billion forecast in the fine fashion jewelry. I mean, unbelievable. So glad to be
Yes.
part of it. It's not going anywhere. It's considered consumable, which I love. So fashion is consumable. It changes, with the trends and the seasons and the outfits. So it's not like someone says, I have my one necklace, thank you very much, this is it. No, it's like they're willing to add to the draw, and it actually helps them save money. Very in, like, real fashionable people know it's all about the accessories, right?
Right.
So that is super cool. What am I leaving out now from our particular vantage point? Okay, here I am selling necklaces, and I go out today and someone says, I love your necklace. You guys, you cannot even underestimate the power of wearing our product. So we're out there with our product on and people are commenting on it, and we're able to segue immediately into, oh, that makes me so happy. This is what I do. I rep a line of jewelry out of Chicago. Let me give you my website, kind of thing, right? But not only that, but my customers and your customers and everybody's customers are out there wearing the jewelry, thereby bringing us back compliments and referrals and stuff. So that's huge. Now, when I do choose, I'm like in my mid 60s now, okay? When I choose to go out and do an in-home show or go out to a restaurant or something, I carry something the size of a purse and all my jewelry fits in there.
Right.
There's no like special dedicated room to all my jewelry. So it's very inexpensive to ship and store. We don't do much of the shipping, Park Lane does. But like Park Lane has millions of dollars of inventory in their Chicago warehouse, and that is so advantageous to us. So there many, many reasons, but I think I hit on all the really big ones of why jewelry is the place to be.
I think you hit on all the big ones too. And it's funny because you mentioned the Mary Kay thing, which I immediately had to look up. And the sister-in-law's name was Mary Crowley, and she founded Home Interiors. And that's amazing to me, but it made me think of all of the different direct sales companies that are out there and all of the people that are watching. So I would love if you would please drop in the comments and let us know if you have ever sold for another direct sales company or you were ever part of MLM. Don't have to give us the name. You can say, I sold a cosmetic, but we would love to know that. And the reason why is because we have a wonderful program that's called Direct Appoint, which is how I came here, how Mary Grace came here, and how her entire leader team came here. Mary Grace, if you could touch on that, please.
Yeah. So, direct sales is even a major at Harvard University now, I heard. I mean, direct sales is big money. It's big, it's big stuff. It's great in-home business. So you have experience. I had experience. And Park Lane was the only company I knew of that would reward my experience or Janine's experience. She worked for baskets. I worked for candles. You guys could probably figure it all out. And Home Interiors is gone, by the way. So don't go looking at Mary whatever's. But Park Lane was smart enough since their fruition, since they started the company, they were smart enough to know we want to hire people with experience to help grow our company. So they will bring you in at a title and a pay level that's commensurate with your experience. So you guys, if you've had any experience in direct sales, it doesn't even have to be currently, but just like any other job in the world, it's like your resume, like mention the experience because you may be eligible to come in at a higher title. And quite honestly, we worked hard to get to where we were in our other companies. It's very scary to leave something like that thinking you have to start all over. I love with Park Lane, like they get it. No, you do not have to start all over. So if you have experience, be sure to mention that to us so that we can interview you and take a look and make sure, that we're all a match for each other because it can work out really beautifully.
I love that. Thank you so much for touching on that. I think that's an important aspect of what we talk about and probably should be like the fifth question because it really is an important something that Park Lane does that no other company does.
Yes.
So do tell. Okay, so we know all this information. We know why jewelry works. Why is Park Lane the place to be? What do we have?
Okay, I'm going to start with this one. Because if you've worked in direct sales before
Yes.
or multi-level marketing,
Yes.
you know that part of what can be stressful is you have quotas, you have minimums.
Right.
If you don't meet those minimums, you can lose your like
Title.
status as a even
Status.
selling for them,
Yeah.
or a title. Like, so if you worked really hard to get to a certain title, if you don't keep something up, you could lose that title. It's
Money.
embarrassing, it's humiliating. I worked with many that we had to see them through that kind of thing. We don't have that here at Park Lane. We are not having that. We do not have minimums, we do not have quotas, we do not have anything that, like, if I literally, I'm an executive company vice president. I already mentioned that. I didn't know if you had time to write it down. So I'm an executive company vice president, and I could take off 2, 3 months a
Right.
year. Okay, come back, and I would still be an executive
Executive
company vice
company vice
president
president.
at the pay level that I had, accrued. So that is super comforting because they are like, no, we're not going to lead with fear and intimidation. You guys can't help what happens in your life. So obviously, you did what you needed to do to become certain titles. We're going to, obviously, you don't lose your title. That just sounds crazy to them.
Right.
They do lead though with carrots. So we have so many things to
Right.
reach for here at Park Lane that, meeting any kind of minimum from Park Lane's end, if they had them, it wouldn't be a problem because we are so encouraged and excited to work for what we want. So they have all kinds of extras aside from their regular pay of weekly pay. We also have 2 trips a year. We have a car bonus. We get free jewelry every single month. We have the ability to earn, I think it's $1,200 in free jewelry every single month, you guys, of our
Yep.
life, every single month. So that's powerful because I earn over $12,000 in free jewelry every single year. And that, something I want to point out to you guys. Janine said it was good. I did it once. When you work, obviously you're paying your expenses of your life, the basics, but you also work so that you can save up to go on vacation, to get a nice car,
Yep.
to buy more jewelry or whatever, right? I love with Park Lane that that's like part of our income. Because while we're making the money and we're earning those things, we're not spending the money. It's all positive, right? It's all going into our bank account in all these different ways. So we can spend our money on other things. We don't have to spend our money on trips. We don't have to spend our money on, things that are basics like that, or
That's
extras.
so powerful when
Isn't
you think
it?
about
Because
that. Yeah, I
that's
mean,
extra income.
we often
Um,
joke about the fact that we don't get just paid in cash, we get paid in jewelry, but think about what that does for you, and like you're earning trips. Think about earning a car bonus for a car. Those are everyday life things that we
yeah.
do work for. That is one of the most powerful statements. I just love that.
Yeah, well, and it's powerful living it, and
Yeah.
really my husband's the one who, he said, my Grace, we can't put a price on a lot of these things that, he
Yeah.
said, I mean, you have a great income,
Mm,
but he said this other stuff too, it's unbelievable.
mhm.
So really, like, all of our shopping, is free. Not my kids, they'd kill me if I gave them Park Lane for Christmas, but all of their, yeah, but a lot of this stuff. Okay. All right. So, but let's get back to two. Whenever you're looking at a company, you want to look at their programs. That's what makes them tick. And our programs have been the same for 70 years. They have never gone backwards. They've
No, they
added,
enhanced them. Yeah.
enhanced them, but they've
Yeah.
promised us they would never take anything away if they haven't. So, and it starts with the customer sale. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar. If not, place an order and you'll know. But we have this amazing customer sale, which buy 2 for regular, get 4 for half, spend 90, get an item for 35. You don't have to memorize it. But what it does, I want you to see the other side of it from the business model. What it does is it results in super, super happy customers. They are
Mhm.
getting a lot for their money and they
Right.
love it. Okay. However, not only are they getting a lot for their money, but they're spending an amount of money that honestly we are thrilled with because our average order is over $100. So I
Right.
know there's like companies out there that sell like $5 jewelry or stuff. And I'm like, I can see like feeling like, oh, that would be an easy sale. But how many would you have to sell, getting paid 30% back or whatever? We
Yeah.
start people at 30%,
Yeah.
and they can go all the way up to a 45 to 50% commission on their own sales. We have weekly bonuses, monthly bonuses, annual bonuses. Like,
Yeah.
it's really unbelievable. And I always tell people, like, just to give you an idea, I was in the top 10 income earners at my last company. And at Parkland, I've that doubled it, you
Yeah.
guys. Not by working much, much harder either. Okay. So it's just because we are the highest paid in the industry. So we have
Right.
got a great customer sale. We have a great profit plan. And then we are so incredibly generous to our hostesses. Like we
Mhm.
talked about that a little bit with the Macy's thing. And it's like it's based on number of orders, not how much their friends spend. So like there's no
Yeah.
like, oh, my friends have to spend a lot of money or I don't get anything feeling, which I think people are kind of over. It's more like my friend could spend $20 and I still get the same for free, you know?
Right.
So, and it's an amazing program. We'll teach you more about it when you join, but all of it works together so beautifully to make us like the highest paid in the industry. I love it.
Which is insane when you think about
Yeah.
it. It's absolutely insane. And I love the fact that there's no quotas and no minimums.
No quotas.
That is one of the best
I
things
mean,
that
you won't get paid
Parkland.
if you don't work that week, but you know.
True. But the fact of the matter is that you can take that time. And I actually saw some comments scrolling some stylists are on that have experienced that where they've had to take some time and they were able to
Yes.
come back in the same. And that's just really that's powerful. All right,
Yes.
why now? Tell us why now. Why is now the right time?
Oh my gosh, you guys. So this is Monday. Our new line and newest catalog
Yeah.
just dropped Wednesday, Tuesday.
Last Wednesday.
Okay.
Yep.
It's brand new line. I don't need to say anymore. Brand new line. You could be the very first person to show this new line. No matter how many people you know that have had Park Lane parties or how many people you know that love Park Lane, there is all new stuff for them to love now. And what better time to become their new rep, right? Also,
Crazy.
I just find that most people with something like this, it's and I understand it, it's some kind of fear. But if you don't try, you'll never know. And I always say everybody should try direct sales. It's not for everybody, but you won't know that unless you try it, right? And the reason that we're out here just talking about our job is like, I always feel like if everybody doesn't join, I really do feel like this. I almost can't sleep that night because I think I didn't explain it right.
Yeah.
Because it's like, even if you're only going to buy for your own self,
Yeah.
imagine everything that you buy or anything that you buy and
Yeah.
getting 30% back on it. I've opened new credit cards to save $80, and then paid it off in
Yes.
cancel. But really, it's like we are totally about you being your own best customer if you need to be, but really there's just until you try, and I I can try to explain to you, but it's not gonna mean anything to you right now. We've got you.
Yeah.
Like if you're
Yeah.
like, I don't know what to do, of course you don't, but we do, right? So it's kind of like just say yes, and then we will get you started in a really, really great way. And the way that we start you most effectively is you just have a show. So, in fact, if I were you, I would just say, I want to have a show,
Yep.
and you have a show. And now you're just going to be watching a little differently than you ever did as a customer or a hostess if you were one before, because like it's on the job training.
Right.
At the conclusion of that show, you may decide, I just don't think it's for me. And that's okay. But at least you like really, looked at it a little bit better. Um, but if you decide at the end, like, oh my gosh, everybody loved it, I love it, and the rep says to you, well, the paycheck's going to be between $300 and $400. Do you want it or should I keep it? You can take it. I mean,
Yeah.
you will get paid on that show,
Yeah.
that very first show, which is unheard of. So, how many people can say I can be richer a week from now if I try this? So
Well,
cool.
and
Yeah.
and would you do us a favor and explain about I don't know if we said that the kit is right now it's
Oh my God, I didn't even talk
$129
about the kit.
for
So, yeah,
700. Can you explain
thank
how
God
they
I'm
can get
getting
that and how
interviewed.
quickly
Yeah.
they can pay it back?
$129. I should lead with that too, because I know people are waiting for me to say like it's 10 grand or something. No, it's $129. You put it on
Right.
your credit card. It's a tax write-off because you're building. Oh, I knew that's gonna happen. Sorry guys, I'm coming.
Oh, it's okay. This is normal.
Am I
This is
here?
what happens when we
Okay.
deal with
Hi.
technology. There you go. It's okay. It's all good. We see
Can
you.
you hear me? So
Yep.
you put it on your credit card, and then when you have that show, you're the one who gets paid, and it was like a no cost startup. And for the $129, you get to pick $500 worth of jewelry. So it's not like you're just like not getting anything out of it. You're getting a lot out of it.
Plus, until the end of this month, they're doing that $200 extra. So it's actually $700
Oh
in
my God.
jewelry
Thank God you looked that
for
up.
the 129, which is really, really good. Because think about that. If you are a Park Lane or a jewelry lover, right, and you're on this call with us, quite honestly, if somebody said to you, if your stylist goes, "Hey, would you like to pick $700 in jewelry and I'm only going to charge you 129?" You're going to be like, "Yeah, I do want to do that."
And you get to write it off on your taxes because it was a
Yeah, you can
business
write it
expense.
off.
Yeah.
And in 1 week's time, you can pick your show date. You did not have to pay for your kit yet. You can have your show with your stylist. You can choose yes to hosting and being a stylist. Pay $129 for the kit. And by the following Tuesday, like 1 week away, 10 days total, you will be paid back for that kit. So less than 30 days, you will have a paycheck. You'll be able to pay back your stuff. Plus, you'll have $700 in jewelry and whatever you earned on your party.
You make it really risk-free for you.
Crazy.
The people who are taking the risk is Park Lane because they can't afford to.
I think it's always interesting. We lost Mary Grace for a moment here. But I think it's always interesting that it truly is Park Lane that takes the risk. I mean, they're taking the risk every time. And quite honestly, we are just here as liaisons to give you the options so you know what's going on. So I did drop the Google form in the comments. You'll see it. You'll also see a link to it in the description of wherever you are watching this video at. We lost Mary Grace, but I'm really wanting to just take a moment and thank all of you for hopping in with us tonight and commenting and hitting that love button. We love all of you and we really appreciate it. Join us next week in the Grace and Grit studio. Follow the Grace and Grit studio with Mary Grace's picture. Follow that business page. We go live every Monday night at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Bring a friend next week. Who do you know that would love Park Lane Jewelry? Thank you so much. I'm going to thank Mary Grace, even though she's not here. And I'm going to go ahead and end this stream and tell you that technology happens. And I appreciate all of you, throwing all of you some love for coming on with us on Monday night. Of course, it's not coming out now because technology is great, but we love you all. Take care and sparkle on, girls. Fill out that form. Okay, make sure you fill that out and send it back in. And Mary Grace will pick a winner by Wednesday, I believe. We announced that winner of the free jewelry. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a wonderful evening and a wonderful rest of your Monday.